Okay, so this is going to be another very simple Abyss. This one only really requires two things. One, that you play 3 dark units, and 2, you need to hit Ludwig 4 times while he has 4 or more buffs. So how does he get the buffs? He has a move that steals all of the buffs from the entirety of your team. So as long as you have 4 or more different buffs on your team, he will use a move eventually that will steal all of them, and then you simply need to hit him 4 times after he steals the buffs. It is important to note that sometimes he does go stealth, so it's important that you have some level of AoE on your team to knock him out of stealth. So now let's explain why I use the characters that I did. This is largely a budget team. I think most people watching this video have all of these characters just laying around at this point if you've been playing Epic 7 for some amount of time. As you can see here, by the way, he did steal all 4 buffs, and you'll see very quickly that we end up getting the weakness right away at the start of the fight. But yeah, you should have most of these characters, and I'll explain why we play each of them. So, Troublemaker Crozet is a good tank. I plug him in a lot of my videos. He's a great budget option. Everyone should have access to him. He has a cleanse on his S3 in case something like your BBK gets stunned and blinded here. And then he also provides 2 buffs, which is barrier and a defense buff. DN provides 3 types of buffs. She provides crit resist buff, she provides barriers, and she provides an attack buff. She also doubles as our healer. Kitty Clarissa is here because, again, Abyss all-star character. She provides immunity buff. She also provides extra damage by pulling your DPS up for more damage. And she also has an AoE attack that can get Ludwig out of stealth. And more importantly, after he steals all of your buffs, you can S2 with her and get rid of all of said buffs once you already have the weakness debuff on him. So once you've already passed the weakness portion of the entire fight, you simply just need to S2 every time he cops the buffs from you and get rid of them. Super, super simple. BBK is a character that is 4 stars, everyone really has, is a good DPS, also has an AoE that can knock Ludwig out of stealth. So that's pretty much why we play everybody that we actually play on this team. Whenever he goes into stealth here, you always want to try and attack the light carbuncle, because the blue one is the one that usually has counter attack on it. So if you have only an option to attack, you want to attack the light one if possible, because again, the blue one usually is going to counter attack. So now we S2 here with Kitty Clarissa, get rid of all the buffs and knock him out of stealth and get rid of his barrier. So that's, again, you can see the power of Kitty Clarissa right here. Now you see the blue one puts up the counterattack buff. It is important to note that Ludwig has a passive where if he gets attacked by an ally with 2 or more buffs on him, on them, it will decrease the cooldown of his ultimate by 1 turn. Now, why this is important is because when it's not his turn, right, or when he doesn't have his ultimate up, rather, I should say, he can either put a debuff on one character, or he can steal all of your buffs and go back into stealth and just kind of chill there with the huge barrier. That's really annoying. But if you just have a ton of buffs on your team and you just keep going face, he will essentially be stuck in a pattern where he will always have his ultimate up on his turn, which means he can never go back into stealth. He can never, CC your characters. So that's a really important thing, and I think Kitty Clarissa lends herself really well to that because she provides 2 attacks into him to charge his ulti. As you can see here, like now he's got his ulti up again. And since he doesn't have any buffs, he didn't steal anything, it hits for very little damage. Like it's like 2k damage to your whole team. So yeah, once you've got weakness on him, and you're playing your 3 darkness heroes, you simply just need to go face as fast as possible to keep him in a situation where all he's doing is just spamming this low damage AoE attack, and it's pretty much a free win from there. This was honestly kind of a waste of an S3. I just wanted to push her up so that way I could start cycling her cooldowns faster. As far as souls go in this fight, you either burn them on DN in order to heal more often if you need it, or you use it for Archie. That's pretty much the only real things to use it on. As you can see, DN's got nothing really here to do, so we just blow Archie. It is important to remember that Archie does give bonus damage. It is like an attack buff with a different name. Yep, again, you can see very low damage AoE move because he has no buffs on him. The move doesn't really do any damage unless he steals your buffs. I believe I start to slip up here at the end where I make a misplay where I don't go face and give him his ultimate back. So I kind of break loop at one point. I should also mention now that I remember it. Troublemaker Crozet, the other reason we really like him is because if you're having trouble getting the weakness buff applied to Ludwig, he has a counter, so that counts as one of your 4 attacks. I just realized that and remembered that from this. So you see, like I said, I broke loop and he stole everything, but it's fine because Kitty Clarissa just kind of knocks him out of it. Again, Kitty Clarissa, Abyss All-Star, like, please invest in her if you are not already. If you don't already have a level 51 with her S3 Max Mullet, you really should do it. Just CR push BBK here. Again, going to the light one because we don't want to take a counter attack. S3 just to get it up. Obviously back into the light one, which will CR push BBK. Now BBK just uses her S3 to knock Ludwig out of stealth. You don't really care if you take a counter attack here. Actually, now I remember, BBK can't be countered now. That's right. That good old buff. So yeah, there you go. That is going to end up being it for this. So now let's take a look at the gear. So we'll start with Troublemaker Crozet. This is pretty much just my PvP Troublemaker Crozet. We're on Holy Sack. You can play Arius if you want. And then obviously the CR E that pushes CR. Kitty Clarissa is like all my other videos, just fastest gear I can get her on. Got the EE that heals Renan's Memorandum just to boost her speed. BBK is the same one from the very first video in this series. She's just on Rage Set. Daydream Joker is the artifact. And then finally is just a budget DN. So there you go. That's everything. Hopefully this helps.